What's up, y'all? I'm Monique Melton, and I just wanted to hop on to just address a couple things. I want to give you a call to action today. So, I am an anti-racism educator. I am a author, I'm a speaker, and I am also a podcast host. I'm a wife to my high school sweetheart, and I also have 2 beautiful Black children. Doing the work of anti-racism is absolutely incredibly challenging as an educator, because for one, I do this work fully as a full human being and as a Black woman. And so there's no compartmentalizing it for me. There's no start and stop. It's all intermingled. It's one thing to teach about racism, it's another thing to experience it. And it's exhausting. There are moments when I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I adjust that crown and I get back to it. I take care of myself for sure. But something I want you all to know and to hear, especially if you are a white person, you hold white privilege, is that you have a distinct, specific responsibility in this work, and that is to dismantle white supremacy. This is your job to do. And you make it harder for us when you get in this work and you want to get involved and you just jump in there and you don't know what you're doing, which we know you don't know because you've not been doing the work. But you approach it with this arrogance as if you just inherently know the answers to things and that it doesn't necessarily require any type of intentionality, strategy, tools, like just getting in there. And so when you do that, you're creating more of a mess. You're causing more harm in an attempt to be helpful. A lot of you are like, I want to get involved. I want to help. I want to do what I got to do. I want to do. And you're coming from a place that you believe that is good, intended. And so we're supposed to center that and consider that above the actual harm that your behavior creates. And so I want to give you an analogy that I use often. Some of you are new to me. Some of you have been in my classes. Y'all know I love analogies. So let's just pretend that I invite you over to my home and I say, I need some help. The house is a mess and I need some help. Can you come over and help me? And you care about me. You don't want to see me struggling. You come right over and help. But instead of following my lead, asking me specifically what it is you want me to do and how to show up, and listening and doing that, you come in, you start doing this, you start doing that, you breaking stuff, you messing with stuff, you don't know where the cleaning supplies are, you don't know, and you're making more of a headache. You're making more of a headache for me. You're making more of a mess. It's more frustrating. Instead of pausing for a moment, just for a moment, because this work is urgent, but pausing for a moment and saying, I don't have the answers. Let me go to the ones who do and follow their lead. Y'all just jumping in there. And then you get mad at us when we tell you, wait a minute, you're messing up. That's not, no, don't do. You get mad at us for not considering the fact that you're trying to help, but you're making more of a mess. You're not helping. And so that's when you come over my house and you come to help me, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna help you. And then you done made more mess. You done broke stuff. You done messed up stuff. You done moved stuff where I didn't want it to be. So now, not only did I have the mess that I asked you to come help me with, now I got more of a mess. And see, here's the thing. This isn't work that you just come over and help us with, though. This is your house, too. This is your responsibility, too. And y'all are just coming in here and neglecting the very things that we have made available to you for hundreds of years, and causing more chaos and more harm. And then you get mad at us for telling you that you're causing more harm. You just expect us to just take it. So I want to give you 3 things to do. And then I have a specific call to actions, but I want to give you 3 suggestions on how to move from this place of reckless, chaotic, non-strategic approach to engaging in anti-racism to more of a clear, focused, and supportive practice of anti-racism. We want you to do the work. We don't want you to make it harder for us while you're trying to do the work. So, first thing, commit to this as a daily practice. This is not a one and done. Commit to this as a daily practice. So if you're going to do something on a daily practice, that means you're going to have to spend some time learning what it is that you're actually doing. That means you're going to have to maybe start with a book. Ijoma Ulu's book, So You Want to Talk About Race? That book is brilliant. It is such a great book. Layla Saad's Me and White Supremacy, phenomenal. Catrice Jackson's The Becky Code, listen, order it today. Carol Anderson's White Rage, get to it. There are numerous amounts of books and material available to teach you to do the things that you're trying to do, but you're causing more harm. And make it a daily practice. Just like every day in the morning, you might have a routine of brushing your teeth and having breakfast, or whatever your routine is to get your day going. Or you might have an evening routine, or how you go about you. It's a part of your life. You don't really have to calculate it and all that. Make this a daily practice. Put it in your phone. Between this time and this time, I'm going to spend time reading, studying. But you also have to understand that in the daily practice, it's not just about learning, but it's applying what you learn. And that happens all day long, all throughout the day, not just distinct moments when you put it in the calendar. But definitely prioritize education and ongoing education. And not just trying to find the free snippets here and there. You're not going to really get a full understanding with only taking that approach. There are libraries. There are places that if you have absolutely no resources, there are podcasts, there are articles that will give you a greater understanding, a documentary. Try to get something that's going to help you understand what you don't even know you don't understand. Take a class. I have the Anti-Racism 101 crash course that's on my site. If you haven't grabbed that, grab that. Start with something, but realize that it needs to be a daily practice of asking yourself, how can I show up in the world and end the violence against Black people? What would that look like if you really deliberately approached each day with the intention to end the harm and to show up and repair the damage that's been done? What would that look like? How might your life be very different if you were operating from that place? So that's one, really just taking this as a daily practice of learning and educating yourself and being under the leadership of Black women, and then taking what you're learning and making sure that you are applying it readily and consistently to all aspects of your life. It's not just one. A lot of times y'all want to just stay in the learning, consuming stage, and you're not really showing up and practicing the tools that we're teaching you. You won't get better with these tools if you don't get practice with them. And so when you don't practice the tools, a lot of times it's because you're afraid of making mistakes. You are going to make mistakes. You don't know what you're doing. You've never done this before. Of course you will make mistakes. The issue isn't, oh, if I make a mistake, whatever. Learn from the mistake, repair the harm that was done, or attempt to repair the harm that was done, and do better. It doesn't have to derail you the way that it does so many of you. It's a daily practice. You keep it going. Let's think about this for a second. How many times have you been eating something and you spilled some food on your shirt and you were like, oh man, or gosh, gee, Willie, whatever you said. Did you decide that, you know what, at this moment, after this, I'm never eating again? No. Does that make sense? It doesn't make any sense. You get some shout or wipe it off, and you don't vow to never eat again because you're going to make a mistake. I spill food on myself all the time. I'm not going to just surrender taking care of myself because of that. And so you're going to make mistakes, but if you commit to learning from them, you'll make fewer mistakes. And you'll be able to repair harm, hopefully. In some cases, what's necessary to repair harm may not be possible. And depends on what it is. But you got to just keep going. Because again, it's not about how you feel about your mistakes or how you feel about the work. It's about doing the work. It's why the work is necessary, why it needs to be done. Second thing I want to encourage you to do is get some accountability amongst yourselves. Don't coddle each other. Don't be a safe haven for white supremacy. People should not feel comfortable to come to you to rant and go off about Black women and how your feelings got hurt. Correct that and say, if you're a white person or if you're Black, either way, if you're a white person, no, we don't do this. We center the pain. We center the pain, the progress of Black women and people of color. What did you do? You need to own up to that. Don't be a safe haven for white coddling. Don't do that. Because that's just going to further insulate that conditioning of white supremacy, and then you internalize that too. I'm going to give you a specific call to action, is to approach this work with more aligned with what we're doing and with more strategy. Make that daily commitment, commit to education, applying what you're learning. Don't be a safe haven for white supremacy. And the third thing I would say, which is also very important, is to acknowledge that you do have within you the ability to create change. Don't just surrender to the powers that be and just think, oh, it's just me. I'm just one person. But if everybody takes that approach, we'll get nowhere. You have influence. You don't need to have a social media platform with hundreds of thousands of followers. You can have one. That's one more person you can influence and impact. You don't even have to be on social media. What are you doing in your home, within your four walls? What are you doing in your job, in your relationships, with your friends? Realize that you have within you the ability to influence and to be about creating change. You just got to tap into that. And you have to do it in a way, though, that is affirming to the Black lives that you're wanting to support, which is why we go back to number one and follow the lead of Black women. And that's going to require that daily practice of doing this work. That's going to require that you don't be a safe haven for coddling and insulating white supremacy and internalized white supremacy. That's going to require that you continually push and do this work and acknowledge your own ability to influence and impact the environments that you are in. That's going to require that. I hope that you will take what I have shared here and put it into action. And my Black folks who are here, Black women especially, go do something for yourself that brings you some kind of joy, even if it's for just a few moments, because we deserve better. We all deserve better. And when Black women are free, we all gonna be free. Because what that gonna mean? That's gonna mean that every system and structure that oppresses us has been dismantled. That's why we center Black women. All right. Peace out, y'all. Okay? So if you like this, if you loved it, go ahead and like it. Go ahead and comment, okay? And don't forget, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Hit that subscribe and share this if you loved it. And one last thing, come join us in community. Let's continue these conversations together. Let's support each other in building healthy relationships, doing the work for healthy relationships in the Shine Bright School, y'all. So make sure you check it out, y'all. Go ahead, join us in community. And until next time, keep shining brighter together.